guys, welcome to Overcrest. I'm Kris.
And I'm Jake.
And Jake, you've got to step up your production game. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this chair.
You bought
I got a
gallon
neon
of
sign.
paint, and you
A
feel
neon
like
sign?
you're just like the highest production value ever to exist.
You know, I know you're struggling for money. So if
Oh,
you
is that
want,
what it is? Okay,
I've
I
got
can
a
have your
gallon of paint for
leftover
you.
paint. Thanks.
The
Is that
lady
actually-
goes,
Is that what's on the wall?
yeah.
It's odd.
legit.
It looks so much lighter on the can than behind you. But
I don't know.
that's the
does it?
magic of lighting, I
That's
guess.
the magic of lighting. Lighting is everything. The lady goes, you probably need a gallon. I'm like, I don't know. It's just a really small
Did
amount.
you
She's
just do the corner? Like, I would love to zoom way out and show the rest of the garage is just chaotic and white, and then
It
you
is.
just have a corner.
Yeah, it's all white except for
Okay.
just this
Yeah.
corner. I'm not going to repaint the whole garage. I want the Jake. The rest of the garage has to be white for light. It needs to be bright. In
No,
here.
I agree. Yeah.
So it's got to be.
I am quite curious. So for those not in the know, which is everyone, it's currently like the high today is -9, like
Yeah,
9
it's
below
very cold.
0 Fahrenheit. FYI,
Jake,
for our
do you
international
want to know what
listeners.
the lowest form of communication is?
Talking weather. I know this.
Talking
but
weather.
This is actually relevant because how are you existing right now? You're in the garage.
I have a heater in the garage,
Okay.
and then I have a heater pointed
I'm
at
checking
me.
on you. Are you
I'll be
good?
fine. I'm
Okay.
already getting cold. It's going to be cold. 'Cause the
Exactly.
heater is turned off.
This is
'cause it
why
makes
it's
noise.
relevant.
Yeah. I've got a little like heater pointed at me. I'm like over like this. So maybe at the end it'll have to be you.
What
after
is
you,
what is the coldest temperature you've ever personally like experienced or seen on a thermometer?
I have no idea. I don't keep track of this shit. It just gets cold.
I remember driving down from Duluth in the middle of the night, like 15 years ago. I was up visiting Nikki, and I saw in the little Saab 9.3 that barely had any heat coming out of it. -30 was the actual temperature.
It was probably there's okay. To be
Okay,
fair,
you're right. Cars
there's probably
can
some
experience
wetness
wind chill
on the
as well.
Yes. There's
Yes.
some wetness or some moisture on the sensor and you're
But that-
driving.
Meant that at least it felt to the sensor like -30, which meant it felt like -30 to me as well.
The lowest feels like temperature I've had was shoveling the driveway when the feels like was -67. I remember that going, good Lord. And I had a beard.
Why
there
were
was
you shoveling?
icicles. It had to be done.
Oh
I
my
don't
God.
want my wife to slip or like not be able to drive in the driveway. I just want it to be nice. Got to take care of your driveway. Got to take care of the driveway. Got to be able to go get the mail. It just is what it is. Anyway, it was icicles and beard, snow, and everything else.
Yeah, not good. Okay, anyways,
I have an
off
idea.
of the lowest form of communication,
Yes,
which is
to
talking
the
weather.
highest form, which is talking
Ooh.
about rallying. Okay.
Okay, I love it.
I have an idea for a rally. It's called
something new.
This is a new idea.
Okay.
A new idea. The Overcrest Pure Endurance Pee in a Cup Championship.
Oh God, no.
Okay. This is have you ever watched the show Alone?
No? What is
No,
it?
you've never seen Alone where they take like
Is it one of the stupid like survival shows where these like drop you off somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. There's like a
Why are those
million of
stupid?
those. I don't know because I
There's-
feel like
there's-
it's just
Alone
it's
is
very
number one.
reductive. Like it keeps. There's a lot of them. Okay, Alone.
Alone was the first one. Well, the first one
Okay.
was probably you had Man versus Wild, which was I think Bear Grylls, which was
Yes.
bullshit because the guy's like peeing in his mouth and he had a whole camera crew and he's always talking to the camera
Right.
and stuff.
I know.
Total crap.
Yes.
Then you had Les Stroud, and I
Okay.
don't know what his show was called. I don't remember, but the dude would hike around with his camera. It was him with like a Pelican case and his cameras, and he'd hike around. He'd
Okay.
have to walk like 2 miles and go back and get his camera and film it all. Filmed
Uh-huh.
it all himself.
Uh-huh.
So you put himself in these situations, and the dude would legit survive. It was only
Okay.
him. So it was
And
way
then there
better
was
than Bear Grylls.
Naked and Afraid.
Yeah, but that's I don't. That seems like something you would actually watch with Nikki.
No, I haven't seen any of these, but they just seem all very dumb. But anyways, okay.
No, Les Stroud is an actual dude.
Okay.
He's a dude that knows what he's doing. He lives this life. It's not some accountant from Timbuktu trying to win $5,000. It's not, and is surviving mosquito bites. It's not what this is. And then there was a show that came out called Alone, which is they take like 10 or 15 people.
Uh-huh.
You're allowed to bring like there's a list of things that you can choose from to bring, and you can
Okay.
pick a few things, and then you go and they put you
I
on
have
in
seen
an area.
like a segment,
And then they
of
drop
these.
you off. You have to film everything yourself. You have to make your
Yep.
own shelter, get your own food. and the last guy to survive wins like $100,000 or whatever it is.
Because
And
you can like send up a flare or something and be like, I'm done.
You have a set phone. I'm out.
Okay.
Like people cut themselves like really bad with like bow saws.
Yeah.
And they're like, or they hit themselves with a hatchet. All their knives are really sharp. Everything's sharp, right? So they'll cut themselves. And once you cut yourself like that, you're done. You go home.
I mean, yeah.
Unless like I'm talking chopped. This one dude chopped with a hatchet in his thigh. So it slipped and he hit his thigh. And he had a big gash in his thigh. He's like,
yeah,
I'm done. It's over.
Yeah.
And but there was this one guy who like killed an elk. And he built a shelter into the earth, and it was like he had like a cold shelter, and it was like he made beef jerky, and the dude was going to be there forever, right? The dude was set.
He was getting set up, yeah.
You set up. That guy ended up winning or something like that.
So
it gave me this idea.
This is your rally idea. You
my rally idea.
The Overcrest survival rally.
The survival rally.
Okay.
Just for sake of geographical knowledge. Minneapolis and St. Paul are surrounded by the 494, 694 loop. It's just
correct.
All cities have a bypass loop. Big cities have a bypass loop that goes around the city.
Right.
Right.
Yes.
So you just,
you
don't have to drive through the city. If you're a truck driver, you just drive around the thing, go out the other side. So
which did you know? We talked about this in our history of the interstate system that horizontal or east-west freeways are even numbered. North-south freeways are odd numbered. And then the circumventing freeways, like you're talking about, is a 3-digit that is one front of the primary interstate.
Yes, absolutely. Okay. And I thought it would be great to say, hey, let's get 10 guys together and just start driving. Just start driving around this
loop. I get it. Okay.
You just drive the loop. And the only thing you can stop for is gas. You are not allowed to go in and pee. You're not allowed to go in and get groceries. No Twinkies, nothing.
This is so dumb.
Nothing. So,
this would be my worst nightmare. I would get so bored.
You would get so bored. And there has to be I would think no cell phones are allowed. It's whatever the car, like it has to be an older car, so you could have like tape deck. Maybe you could bring like, so we have to choose what people are allowed to bring. So there has to be a list of like 10 things you're allowed to choose 3. One would be like your 10 favorite tapes or something like that. So you have, or like a books on tape or something that you really love. Maybe you could listen to the, Gulag Archipelago, really long book. You probably have to listen to it a couple times.
Sounds like such a waste of time. That's what I'm thinking of right now.
But what if you got $50,000 when you were done? Huh?
It's sounding better.
Or 10,000. Let's say $10,000.
Where you get? I was gonna say, where are you getting $50,000 to put up?
Okay, so then it comes down to like I thought about like all of a sudden I thought of this business idea.
Okay.
In motion DoorDash.
What? So okay, it's gonna be on the freeway. The guy pulls up and he's gonna chuck a bag of fries at you through the window. Yeah,
no, it's like a potato gun with a hot dog in it.
Even better. Okay, even better.
Sunk! And you open your window
and you just open your mouth. And if they're really good, and that's how you rate them, be like accuracy was 5 out of 5.
Call it the Glizzy gun. It'd be perfect. It'd be absolutely perfect. So I was thinking, like, what would your vehicle be? What would you choose for this?
You'd want something like spacious enough, and I wouldn't want a manual.
Fuel economy doesn't matter. You can stop for gas.
But I'm just thinking like you want something. I don't know, because you're gonna want to have like snacks or something with you, and you want to have spaciousness.
I think the rules would stipulate.
If this is all we're going for, and it's just freeway driving, I'm thinking like a minivan, like automatic cruise control. You're sitting up, so it's more maybe comfortable than like a low slung position, right? Because you're gonna have to like be. Like you want to be able to stretch out when the cruise is on, right?
Do you think you should be
down in a bucket seat?
Maybe there's 2 guys.
No, that defeats the purpose.
Yeah. You'd almost last too long if there was a co-driver.
Yeah. There was a record set for this, Chris. Already, you know, and it was in 1960, 62, I think. Anyways, it was a publicity stunt for a new casino in Vegas, and this is on my list of history stories to do. And they didn't stop even for gas. The rule was they had to stay in motion. And am I thinking of the wrong thing? No, it was an airplane. The longest single flight in an airplane. And they literally like had fuel tankers, and they'd come down low next to the truck and fuel up again. And then they had to like step out onto the plane and like change spark plugs in air.
So would we allow people to create their own, like if they had a friend that could design a rig that would refuel their vehicle? Is that allowed? Is it just
the whole thing is dumb? The whole thing is dumb.
Wait. Hold on. This is giving me an idea. Let's say you can't stop. You can either put all your fuel in your car, whatever. Just you can't stop.
Or
but
you
there's
hypermile.
There's no rule for it. So you have a guy pulling up like strapped in with a seatbelt with like a gas thing off the side, and the guy's cranking it like this while he's leaning over the car, like pumping fuel
in the midst of traffic. No, this is a really dumb idea, Chris.
This is
dumb.
awesome.
No
this
one would
be
watch this, even if you're filming it.
You're
so
wrong.
Dumb.
This is a great idea. Reach out to me. 1-800 great ideas. That's you can.
What
find
happens
me,
when you get pulled over?
I'm
You're
located
like,
next to
sorry,
flat surfaces.
I can't actually pull over because I'm in the middle of a contest.
You get pulled over, you lose.
Okay.
You lose. You get pulled over by the police.
Well,
you've stopped.
The mid freeway fuel up is definitely going to get you pulled over.
Well, I mean that's part of the risk, I guess, right?
So, how long do you think you'd go? Like realistically, how long do you think you could go?
I think if you exited the vehicle, you would also lose.
Yeah.
Like if you got out, because you're going to be in rush hour, right? So you're going to have to stop.
Oh,
so that
like
counts
if it
as stopping.
stops. Yeah. No,
but
no,
otherwise, everybody would get out during rush hour and start walking and stuff like that. So you'd have to. You cannot get out of the car. You can't.
This is a huge liability. Like you're going to fall asleep behind the wheel. You're going to get tired and fatigued, and then everyone's going to crash. And you're going to cause an accident.
I have
and
an idea.
Overcrest is liable.
We have Nikki, your wife, is monitoring live screens.
Oh my God!
Live streams of every person. If she detects
that
someone
good.
is tired,
yes. This is a
that way the liability is
use
on
of her time. Oh,
instead
okay.
of us.
Yes. That doesn't help me at all.
I think I would take an old Cadillac. I think I would take an old, old floaty
good
Cadillac.
On fuel.
Okay, that's true. We've modified the rules.
You've already, and how are you gonna like stretch out? Like with a minivan with no center console, you could like put it on cruise and like on a straight, like get in the back and stretch out a little bit. You know, it's a risk. You're risking it because there's no one at the helm. Ooh, and then your tires become an issue potentially. Well, no.
Tires. I mean, dude, if you're driving
100,000 miles or something.
Jesus. Oh my God. I think that I could go. I think it becomes a mental game, not a physical game.
Oh yeah.
Honestly, I think that most people are going to be struggling mentally after. I mean, I start to struggle at about 12 or 13 hours, but that's.
I was going to say.
That's what changing scenery, right? That's what things.
And getting out and stopping.
Yes.
I don't think you could do 12 hours. I don't think you could do 12 hours even straight behind the wheel.
I think the money reward is a big part of this. And I think you'd get some crazy fuckers. You've seen all the memes of people like, yeah, man, I just raw dogged my flight to Paris. And it's these guys that sit there and just stare at the little plane crossing the ocean. You've not seen this?
Seen this? No.
It's like a thing. These people are like, I
stupid
raw dogged my flight.
Videos are you getting on Instagram?
It started.
Raw dogged my flight. What?
This episode's already absolutely foobar. It's over. But it started with a girl who was like, my dad just raw dogged all the way to Japan, and it was like a 17-hour flight or something, and her dad just sat there like this. The whole flight just sat there. He just freaking sat there.
That is like psychotic. That
is
is straight up like.
But he did it. And that type of dude is the dude that would come do our contest.
Yeah, this is a terrible idea.
I think this is really interesting. I think that this could be a thing.
No.
I think it could be
I'm not going to let this be a thing.
I think you move it out into the desert, and there's a desert loop where you just drive in circles in the desert. There's going to be mechanical failures. There will be human failures.
I feel like this, again.
If you did it in the desert, you could close down the roads, and you could have people sign a waiver so there's no liability.
Yes. And I believe this has been studies for like driving fatigue. Like they've done this. And I think people have lasted like 8 hours maybe.
Oh, dude. I could last longer than 8 hours for like 20 grand. Yeah. Because you would just keep telling yourself 20 grand, just a little further.
Because it's a huge waste if you bow out after like 10 hours.
No second place, winner take all.
No, I know. So that's
if anybody's into this,
nobody's
send
into
me a DM. Overcrest, we have free
this is
time
not
that
an
allows us
Overcrest sanctioned event. Absolutely not. Nope. No.
Did you just give me permission to pursue this venture on my own?
Oh yeah, go for it. Sure. Yeah, you fund it somehow yourself. The stupidest idea I've ever heard of.
This is the best idea.
So dumb. You know what is not dumb, Chris? Do you know what's not dumb?
Hold on. I just want to let everybody know we're going to have some Drivers Club questions at the end of this episode.
I'm excited. Okay.
Yeah. Go ahead.
All right. FCP Euro is not dumb. They're an online retailer of OEM OE, genuine aftermarket and performance parts for European cars. BMW, Volvo, Porsche, Volkswagen, and more. Their catalog is a one-stop shop with over 275,000 unique products, including expert assembled kits to make shopping simpler. Actively building out their Volkswagen, Audi, and Porsche catalogs.
Jake.
Yes. No, they're not a sponsor of your stupid
FCP
event.
sponsors.
No, absolutely
the Pee in a
not.
Cup challenge.
The Pee in a
100%.
Cup challenge. No.
And can you imagine? What if your co-driver had to be absolutely silent, but he could fix the car anytime? So if you had a mechanical failure, you could stop, but the driver couldn't get out of the car.
Great.
But the co-driver.
So now we're going to be running each other over when they fall off the front of the hood trying to change a spark plug or something, or a fan
I didn't
belt.
say while driving.
Well, the whole point is you can't stop.
Yeah, but I think it would. I'm trying to get money out of FCP, Jake. Come on.
Keep going, and they're going to cancel this too. So good. Oh, my goodness. They do have, of course, an expansive catalog from current to favorite classics. Every product they sell is backed by a lifetime replacement guarantee, even wear items like wiper blades, brake pads, and oil filters. With the opening of their distribution center in Mesa, Arizona, FCP Euro is now shipping parts from both coasts, serving most of the country in 3 days or less with the free shipping option. We, of course, have been working with FCP Euro for quite some time at Overcrest. We know they are true, passionate enthusiasts who care about the vehicles, the people, and you, the customer. Check them out today at fcpeuro.com. Take advantage of free shipping on any order over $49.
I have an idea of asking you about something that you've experienced.
Quit ideas.
No, this is
with the ideas. None of them have been good.
Have you ever had your windshield wiper fall off while you're driving and go all cattywampus and sideways where it doesn't work anymore?
Yeah, that's
you
not
ever
ideal.
Reached out, taken it off, and then you're driving and you're just using your hand to wipe it?
What, you just have
busted?
the squeegee and you're going.
Yeah.
No.
Oh, gosh.
No, it is like a skill and a rite of passage in the winter. They freeze up, right?
Yes.
You get the ice. And so you got to time it so that when they come up, you come and grab it and you try to lift it so it flicks and it snaps down and cracks off. That could be a more fun contest. Something along those lines.
What are you talking about? How's that even?
I don't know. It's so much better than pee in a cup.
I guarantee you that 99% of the people watching or listening to this podcast think my idea is great.
It is the stupidest idea ever.
All right,
so
well,
dumb.
we're going to put
so
it. We're going to put this is going up on social media. Everybody vote. Vote right now on whether this idea is the good idea, the best idea, the Pee in the Cup Overcrest driving challenge. Jake is wrong. Help me prove Jake is wrong. All right.
Here's the other thing that's you have had so long to come up with this too. You're putting me on the spot because I feel like I come up with a much, much better contest or idea.
Jake, I came up with this morning.
Yeah. All day. That's what you wasted on.
No, this took me 5 minutes. I'm that much of an idea machine. All right, Mr. Producer, play clip 1.
Ooh, what do we got here? Oh, Le Mans.
Yeah, baby.
McQueen. 917.
Secretary car right there, right?
Yeah. Oh. So good.
Mulsanne straight.
Yep.
What did we just watch? What was that?
That was the movie Le Mans featuring Steve McQueen from 1967,
also known as the most boring movie
of
all time.
It's so boring. It really is.
It is legitimately terrible movie. I don't care what anybody says.
We just watched the best part. Like it's all the engine noise. That's it.
It is. It's great for seeing the cars and stuff, but is it 3 hours long? It's some absurdly
I remember it being
way too long.
Way too long.
It's not.
There's no plot. There's no plot.
All right. At Meekum's Kissimmee 2025 auction, one of the most incredible Porsches in history, the 917K chassis 022 went up for sale. This is the Le Mans car, the one that Steve McQueen himself drove, later owned by our friend Brian Redman.
Oh, cool.
Shout out to one of my favorite guests that we ever had on the podcast. It's a while back. And then owned by someone else and some other people, and then Jerry Seinfeld.
No kidding. Okay.
And it has been restored to its Gulf livery perfection, which we're going to see it in a second. I think it's really sad because you look at the car in the clip that we just watched, and if you see the movie, the car's dirty. There's tape around the headlights. It doesn't look like that anymore.
Oh,
it's not that car.
They refin it, like
been over restored,
it. Yep.
And it's not that car. I think, it's not like Jerry Seinfeld's fault, I'm sure. Probably not even Brian Redman's fault. It's probably someone's fault. These cars were not worth that much. In general. Okay, let's play 917-2 clip, and then I've got
$26 million. Anybody else?
Lots of silence here, Jake.
Wait, is that what they started it at?
No, it started in the lower.
$25 million is the bid. Don't hate me. Oh. I'm going to close the bid.
No sale, Jake.
The bid goes on.
Really?
Bid goes on. Roll it out, he says. Roll
So they got up to 25 some million.
It did not reserve. And now the car just kind of exists in limbo, waiting for its next chapter. Here's a little bit of history. Jerry Seinfeld purchased the car in 2001. Prior to his acquisition, it sold in 2000 for 1.3 million, including fees.
Okay.
Seinfeld's Porsche collection is legendary, not because he hoards them, but because he curates them. He appreciates the history, the engineering, and the why behind each of these cars, which is why he owns this one.
Right.
He's also a comedian. The guy who built a career on observational humor and the quirks of everyday life somehow decided, yeah, I'm going to own one of the coolest cars on the planet. And there it is. He owns it. So, couple questions.
So, wait, is Jerry currently the owner that is selling it at Mecca?
The owner.
Oh.
He could have waived it. He could have waived it and said sold. He could have waived the reserve. But
You're right.
He didn't. He did not do it. And you can hear people in the crowd going, Jerry, Jerry.
Yeah.
I look very carefully. I don't see him standing up there anywhere.
No, he's probably
Here's
not.
another question I have. This thing had a ton of hype. There was tons of video about this car. There's tons of, actually, let me rephrase this. Upon looking for it, I saw that there was a ton of hype. I didn't even know this car was for sale.
Well, you're not really the target market, Chris. Hate to say.
Yeah, but I'm kind of in.
I know.
Algorithm, that is something that should have been shown to me.
You're right.
Should have been, but I wasn't. Go ahead.
I think it's a huge mistake to let it get bid up to 25 and not let it sell, because now it'll always be known. It'll come back the car that didn't even sell for 25 million. Yep. I feel like that hurts its value intrinsically.
I don't know that. I don't know Jerry Seinfeld. I've only met him one time. He isn't the one to necessarily consider the value of the car its biggest asset. From my experience of listening to him talk, I think he cares more about, why didn't he just call it off? I'm trying to equate the Jerry Seinfeld doesn't care about the value with him not lowering the reserve.
Right. It's
I just don't know.
When you're talking $25 million, it's about the money. He's selling it and wants it to sell for a particular number. Yes, sure, he appreciates it for its provenance, its history, and everything else.
But I think that he equates the value of it with how cool it is, rather. And this is Jerry. Don't hate on me. I don't know. I'm not sure what's in your head. Does he equate the value of this with how cool it could be? I feel like that's not him either.
No.
So I don't really know.
Someone told him, or he had it valued in his mind at a particular price.
Nobody told him anything. Nobody tells anybody anything. This is one of a kind.
So here's advisors that say, I'm sure Meckham was like, 26 is probably a reasonable.
Me to my question.
Okay.
Why was this thing for sale at Meckham? Meckham is where you sell $200,000 Hemi Cudas.
Right. Good point.
It's not where you sell this. This is something that goes at Christie's or RM or something along those lines.
Yep.
Why was it
No,
sold
I
at
agree.
Mecum?
Probably. I bet I don't know, but with something this valuable and this much visibility, there is an inherent marketing value to it from a business perspective. I wonder if it got shopped around and Mecum said, you know what? We will only charge you
That's my thought, too.
0.03%, fee or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever the premiums were. Yes,
Yep.
I agree with you.
I think they gave an incentive to sell it through them. That being said, was
Can you do me a
bad
favor,
move.
Jake? Can you center your camera a little bit? You're just a little off center. Can you center that for me? There you go.
Yeah, it
Thank
got
you.
loose. Okay, there
Yep,
we go.
There you go. Thank you so much.
You are
I think
so
you're
welcome.
right. I can't think of any other reason why it would go for sale at Mecum. They either paid Jerry, they paid somebody, because this car is not a Mecum car. This isn't anything against Mecum. It's just atypical.
No, but yeah,
Um,
I know what you mean, because yeah, when you say Mecum, however you say it, Camber, it is more like, I think of the old school muscle cars, like
Yes.
you say. A plum
This isn't
crazy
the first time
70
a
CUDA.
Porsche with a big story failed to sell. There was another 917 chassis 026 back in 2021 RM Sotheby's. That one got a $15 million bid, but did not meet reserve either. So
I thought you were going to talk about the
1939 Porsche Type 64,
the
the
Nazi
one that
car.
was supposed to be the first Porsche ever and expected to sell for $20 million.
Yep.
But thanks to a bidding typo that showed 70, the crowd turned into a mob. The car didn't sell,
Yep.
and Porsche later said, by the way, that's not even a real Porsche. That one?
Yep, that's the one.
The highest price ever paid for a Porsche at auction was $14 million, which was another 917, but it was the 917K 024, sold in 2017. That particular 917 is notable for being the first 972 ever been entered into any competition, debuting at the 1,000 kilometers of Spa in 1969, driven by Joe Seifert. Its racing pedigree and historical significance contributed to its record-breaking price. So that one sold for 14. In my mind, the Steve McQueen car would have sold for more if it looked like the Steve McQueen car, but it just looks like every other 917.
So they should have kept it in the state of the movie where it has like duct tape over the lenses.
How much was that thing worth in 1986?
Oh, like
nobody
nothing.
was even thinking about that car in 1986.
Right.
Little did they know that a bunch of people would be on social media able to look up the hashtag of Steve McQueen and find all the things you need to do to be cool like Steve McQueen in such an easily and accessible way.
Yeah, the king of cool.
All right, move on to our next article here, Jake.
I'll read you that. But I was going to say, do we know what the chassis number is on the Pink Pig? Because I feel like that should be the one that's like most notorious or most
that's
valuable.
At the museum. That's not in private hands.
Okay,
so that'll never get sold. It'll never get sold.
That makes sense. All right, Chris, moving right along to our next story. Imagine this. Over 1,000 horsepower. A twin turbo V8 making 1,064 horsepower, 828 pound-feet of torque. That's with no newfangled hybrid or electronic motors, just pure internal combustion insanity. Carbon ceramic brakes, carbon fiber, everything, and a top speed of 233 miles per hour. And this, of course, is a recipe for something, a hypercar, right? Some European limited production, Pagani something or other, right?
Wrong.
This
is...
You
see it right there. Look at that thing.
The Chevy Corvette ZR1.
Look at that thing.
This is so insane that it's 1,000 horsepower in a Corvette. From the factory.
No, I thought to myself, surely
this is a
hybrid.
Nope.
Surely it's a hybrid power number. All right, Mr. Producer, you can pull the photos down. You can stop sharing that.
Yeah.
Surely.
This is the 2025 Corvette ZR1, and it is nothing less than a middle finger to every European hypercar. It starts at $174,995, less than $175,000.
That's like $100,000 less than a GT3 that has half the horsepower.
Right. Yeah. This is like a loaded 911 Turbo S, right? I know.
I could sell some shit and buy one of these, Jake.
Yeah.
I could sell all my cars.
Yeah.
And buy a ZR1.
And have 1,000 horsepower.
And have 1,000 horsepower.
It wasn't that long ago that the Bugatti was like the most ridiculous, amazing car ever because it had 4-digit factory power numbers, right?
And how much
1,001
did that
horsepower.
cost?
It was like
$1 million, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
over
$1
$1 million. Yeah, it's absolutely ridiculous. There is a carbon fiber aero package, which is actually a
$8,500
reasonable
dollarinos.
$8,500, and then you've got a wing that could scare a Lamborghini owner and trade their key fob for a therapy session. I like that. You must have written this. And if that's not enough, there is the ZTK performance package. So, fun fact, Chris. So, all Chevy performance packages, right? So, like you've heard of the Z51 package or the Z06 package, right?
Yep.
The ZR1. This actually started back in, I believe, the 60s. And when Chevrolet engineers needed to make like a special package or something in their model codes, they were like, all right, well, how do we designate this? And they have everything, you know, from all the different letters that correspond to like trim packages and interior. They're like, they're never going to get to Z. Let's pick Z. And that'll be all our high performance stuff. So everything that's a high performance anything is the Z.
Something.
Yep. Which I love that.
What is it? Let's be clear that's almost like M for marketing.
It is. Yes, it is. Because you can get the Z51,
Z51,
like Silverado.
Z71. Yeah.
Yep,
which is
exactly.
Was it got better struts or something? I don't even think it's a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But you do have the ZTK performance package for $1,500, which gets you the Michelin Pilot Sport Cup 2Rs and stiffer suspension to make.
I don't even think you can get a set of
sticks.
those tires for $1,500. That's a pretty good deal.
I was gonna say, like, this pricing
Can
is
I buy
really,
that, like,
really
5
good.
times and like defer the tires and just have you keep them on hand for me?
Oh yeah, there you go. I like that. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's an absolutely amazing car. You're still spending less than half of what Ferrari charges for the privilege of looking fancy and going nowhere near as fast. And it's not just another Corvette. It's 233 mile per hour top speed, American-made Fury, built to embarrass Europe while hauling groceries, if it feels like it. Let's be real, it's going to be hauling golf clubs, because that is what they actually used when engineering the front trunk.
Right. We did,
is making sure that golf clubs could fit in it. The order books open in February. Production starts later this year, and we can't wait to see the reactions when this thing blows by McLaren on the track day. ZR1 is here, and it doesn't care what you think, Chris.
So I looked up like what it takes to get an allocation for one of these.
Okay.
Basically, it's up to dealer discretion. Whereas, like, if you think of like a GT3 RS, you have to kind of be a guy. You know, you have to have bought a certain amount of cars. If you walk in there with probably $200,000 or $225,000 in cash, you could buy one of these ZR1s. They don't care who you are. They don't care if you're rubber bumpkin. They don't. I mean, how much red's on your neck? They don't care. You can buy.
That is great,
but
because it's Chevy.
It is up to the dealer discretion. Okay,
sure.
So if they've got, how many does each dealership get? You know, a few, 3, 2.
I don't know.
One?
Are they? Is there a limited? Let's see. Did they say?
I couldn't really find. It's still pretty fresh. I don't know if there's limited or not. But I mean, my point is that it feels kind of cool that a regular dude can own this car. The Porsche allocation scheme and the Ferrari allocation scheme and all that stuff is such a joke. You know,
it really is. It's basically artificial scarceness that they're creating.
Yeah, they want that. You know, that's what they're after.
Oh, of course they do. That's why
totally intentional.
Ferrari famously was like, they do market research, and if there's 5,000 people that are going to buy their new model, they make 4,999 of them.
Yeah, because fuck that guy.
Well, they want scarcity. They build it in. But yeah, no, I love how absolutely ridiculous this thing is.
All right. So, Jake, the Macan EV was supposed to be Porsche's big electric mic drop, was it not? We watched the big commercial
with
about
it. Yep.
All the people roiling all over the floor and throwing a Target in there for no reason. Remember that ad?
That's right. Yes. Yeah, that was like very bizarre.
Crazy. It's going to be the herald of a brave new world for Porsche. And now Porsche's backpedaling like they're trying to parallel park on a hill. EV Macan isn't going anywhere in the United States, and it's not just because we're all clinging to our shitbox gas engines like they're our last pack of Twinkies during the apocalypse. Nope. It's because this whole massive EV switch isn't panning out like everyone planned.
Yep.
Taycan sales are sluggish. People aren't rushing to trade in their V6s and V8s for something that sounds like a giant RC car.
Yeah.
Jake, I have exclusive news for you.
Ooh, okay.
The signature sound of the Macan EV has been revealed. It's not Hans Zimmer, but it's very, very identifying.
I'm excited.
Here it is. Right.
Okay, let's go. What is that even from?
I don't know. It's from Porsche PR. I have no idea.
Oh yeah,
Haven't
obviously.
you notice that every car sounds haunted? All these EVs, they all kind of go by like woo woo.
I didn't ever think of that
woo.
until you
Like-
said it once.
Like the
and
Grim Reaper is chasing you. It's ridiculous.
I know. It
Meanwhile,
is really
hybrids
funny.
and good old combustion engines are still running the show, and now Porsche is saying, "Well, maybe we do need a little more time to figure this whole EV thing
Yep.
out." This isn't just a Porsche thing either. The whole industry is getting cold feet about going all in on electric. They're realizing that maybe, just maybe, everyone's opinion matters after all, and not everyone's ready for an electric-only world. Some folks still want rumble, the range, and yes, gas station snacks. To be fair, I think an EV gives you more time to look for snacks.
Gas station snacks. That's
Yeah,
what you're
that's-
attributing to the
yes.
lack of EV adoption.
Although I would say that that the EV would give you more time for snacks.
Well,
'Cause
you
it
have to go
takes
to
so
a
damn-
charging station, which then
Oh,
is
but
at
there's no
like a
snacks.
Target or something.
There's no snacks.
So
at
really,
the-
yeah, you're going
true.
grocery shopping or something instead.
That's a business
Lame.
model, a charging station that has a built-in vending machine.
I'm sure that's a thing.
Where when you're finished, like, you plug your car in, buy it, and it just chunks
No,
out
they
like
just it's just every
like some
Starbucks.
Soylent Green.
Yeah, it's
Just
called
boonk.
Starbucks parking lot. That's what it is.
Nah, I like it where it just chunks out the Soylent Green, your little ground up cockroaches for your future that you're, eating the
Wasn't
bugs for.
Soylent Green? No, it was people. It was ground
It was
up people.
people. Yeah, yeah,
not cockroaches. That would have been a step up.
Nope, that's what was on that movie about the train, like the endless train or whatever.
The Snowpiercer. Such a
Yeah.
stupid movie. And then they made it into a
Stupid
TV
movie.
show.
Yep, both stupid. The book probably was good. I bet the book was really good.
Sure.
It seems like it would be a really good book. The problem is when you have, and I think about this with my book, if it was ever adapted into a movie,
Okay.
trying to like adapt the visuals of a book where you're supposed to use your imagination, you're only getting like a small team's imagination together to come up with the
Versus-
ideas that millions of people have their own imagination on. So something like Snowpiercer is very hard, where you have this train and everybody's using their imagination. It's just
It's such a dumb concept. I never understood, and maybe I need to rewatch the movie. But why does it have to keep moving? Why are you on a train? Why is civilization on a train, Chris?
I don't
not
didn't
just a
write
bunker?
the story.
It's so dumb.
I think they're running from the climate or something. I don't know, dude. Maybe it's okay. So here's my thought on the running train.
What if it's they're
The moving
chasing the
train
sun?
is a mechanism. It is a mechanism for which to keep people living and moving forth. You just tell them, generation after generation, if the train isn't running, there's nowhere for us to be. We're all dead. So basically, it's a mechanism to keep the society going because it's a reason to live within the regulations and the law.
Okay.
It's just propaganda.
Okay.
Is this
That's
getting too
just-
deep for you?
Yeah, I was gonna keep going with societal metaphors, but no, we're good.
All right. Tell me about Onyx.
Yes, you don't need to be stuck on a train because you'll know exactly where you're going. It's the best app for navigating your next adventure, Onyx Off-Road, with over 750,000 miles.
Can you imagine having Onyx while you're riding the Snowpiercer in the future?
You'd be like, there's a trail right here, you guys.
Guys, there's like a city
Wait.
here that was abandoned.
Hot Springs.
Yeah,
Why don't you go to the hot
Just-
springs?
Just pull over.
Come
Hop
on.
the train.
They have over 750,000 miles of trails and comprehensive offline maps you can explore without worrying about cell service or evil dictators on trains. The app features trail ratings, detailed information, and a discover tool to help you find trails near you. Onyx Off-Road also includes public and private land boundaries, so you'll always know where you can legally off-road and camp. Plan trips with ease using the Route Builder and share your adventures with friends. With features like route tracking, waypoint marking, and real-time updates, you're equipped for any challenge. Start your next adventure with confidence. Try Onyx Off-Road free for 7 days. Download today and start exploring. The little tidbit about like land boundaries and knowing where you can and cannot be. Do you have any stories or experiences with trespassing or people yelling at you?
I mean, I never get caught. That's what you're
Okay.
wondering. Although I have had a guy pull a shotgun on me
Yeah.
when
Okay.
I was scouting for the rally.
Oh, well, that's good.
Get out of here. Actually,
that-
the came first, and then it was, well, I didn't need to be told anything after
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
right?
You
That's
just
the,
hear that and you go, I'm going to leave
good.
now.
It's like, get off my land. And that was it. And that was
Yeah.
actually near here. That was down by
Oh, that was the Mississippi
Stillwater,
River.
not south of Stillwater somewhere. It's like, chunk, get out of here.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
I was walking up this guy's driveway, I don't remember what I was going to ask him or something.
You didn't
I
have
was
your
gonna ask him
Amazon
something.
vest at the time.
No, well, Amazon didn't exist at the time. So.
I know.
Of all the times that I've ever, 99% of people are just happy
Oh,
to
yeah.
see you, happy to talk.
Absolutely.
Not that guy. That guy is.
No, certainly
Yeah.
not.
He didn't want anybody seeing his 50 gallons of yogurt that he had getting saved for the apocalypse.
I'm convinced when I was probably only like 10 or 12 that I actually found a serial killer and he was hiding his like body place.
And then you bought his cabin above your house.
No, but yes, but also yes. But also yes. Story for another day, Chris.
Yes,
No.
yeah.
Okay, real quick. When I was probably 12 years old, up at my parents' cabin, my buddy and I, we took our bikes down the road, and there was like an old abandoned farmhouse out past the field. And like the operating farm was on the other side of the field. You know what I mean? Like half mile away. Here's the old abandoned. And I remember we'd go through because it's cool as a young boy to go through and look at abandoned shit and like throw rocks at windows, right?
Hell yeah.
So we were doing that. And I was like, man, this is weird. We're hiking around. There was a bed frame, like rusted out bed frame. So just the wires around by the door. And I heard a buzzing sound. And I look, there's a battery charger, a car battery charger hooked up to the bed frame and plugged to an extension cord. They obviously had power run out there for a reason. And I'm like, what the heck? This is bizarre. And my buddy and I are like, what is going on? And then we hear a truck pull up. And we're like, oh no. Like this dude's like, I know you're out here, you're trespassing. Come on out, boys. Or something like that. And so we're looking at each other. We're like, our bikes are over there in front of the truck. What do we do? Do we like run to the woods? I was like, eventually I was like, all right, we're not in the middle of nowhere. We're by a major road. Let's just stand up and be like, what do you want? We can still run into the woods later. And he's like, where are you boys from? I'm going to go talk to your parents or something. And I was like, yeah, okay, right down there. They're not going to care. They knew exactly what we're doing. And he was like, all right, why don't you throw your bikes in the back and come with me? I was like, nope, absolutely not. Nope,
not
and
doing
so
that.
we hopped on a bike, and he's like, well, I'm worried you were lying to me. So he literally is idling his truck on the shoulder as we're riding our bikes, following us the whole way home, like 2 or 3 miles.
What kind of truck was it?
It was like a rusted out F-150 or something. I don't know. That's not important. It was
I'm
white.
imagining I'm like
I remember
the pristine version of some truck or something like that. Yeah.
And like he had white eyebrows. I remembered distinctly. Like his eyebrows got bleached. Maybe he was making meth or something. It was very bizarre. And
I
it was
don't know
very
if that's how
frightening.
how that works. Otherwise, you'd be walking through North Minneapolis. There'd be a lot more white eyebrows.
Yeah. I don't know why his eyebrows were white, but the fact that he was that protective of an abandoned house on his property and had power running to a like electrified.
Did you tell anybody, or were you?
I don't
too
think
scared
I've
of you
ever
getting in
told
trouble?
anyone. I don't think I've ever
Too
told
scared.
anyone.
As a kid, you're like, oh, I can't tell anybody about this.
And I know, like, my dad was like, what were you doing? I was like, yeah, I was over there. And he knew exactly what we were doing. I was like, oh, we're going to bike over to the abandoned house. So anyways, yeah, that's my trespassing story.
Do you want to tell the police about this? Maybe there's a bunch
The
of bodies
house
in
is
there?
gone.
Okay, so they would have found the bodies if there's bodies in there. So the guy, all the people
Unless
he
the
killed
guy
took
just
them somewhere else.
bulldozed it himself.
Hmm.
Do you want to go up there and look for bodies?
No.
No, neither do I.
I do not. Well, in other news, we now know what cars are left that are available in a manual.
Speaking of things dying.
Speaking of things dying, manuals are a dying breed, but they're not quite dead yet. For 2025, there are still 34 cars that you can buy with a proper stick shift. They're clinging to life support, but at least the patient is still breathing. The good news is some really heavy hitters are on the list. The 911, a GR Corolla, Honda Civic Type R. They are keeping the manual flame alive. Even the Ford Mustang and Mazda MX-5 refuse to give in to the lifeless monotony of automatic gearboxes.
That makes sense to me. The cheaper
Did you know
cars.
about the new STI is going to have a CVT.
Oh, well, that is a Subaru
Can you
thing.
freaking believe it?
That's the bean counters
Dude,
at Subaru.
I don't care. So what? I don't care.
Yeah, why wouldn't you just carry over the old model? That's so dumb.
And then there's the wild stuff like the SRT Hellcat and GR86.
Wait,
Still giving the middle finger to convenience and monotony.
They're still selling the Hellcat? I thought there was like the final version of that like 2 years ago.
It does feel that way, doesn't it?
Right? Like,
so when you look at this list, what's missing?
okay, well, I saw the M3. I see the 911, BRZ, of course. You said Mustang, Miata, Hellcat. I mean, there's
Every single one of these cars, you can stop sharing, Mr. Producer. Every
a
single
Tacoma. That's cool.
one of these cars is an enthusiast car. There are no more regular people cars with manuals.
Of course not. No,
There's no like the Geo Metro with a manual. There's no Volkswagen Golf
no.
with a manual. None of the used to be a manual was something that was
The standard commuter,
standard,
cheap. Yeah, standard transmission.
Standard.
The
standard is
standard.
because it's what it came with. It's a
Right.
standard transmission.
Yes.
You wanted the automatic, you paid for it. So
Right.
everything had a standard.
Yes.
Now nothing has a standard.
No. Yeah,
Excuse me.
it's frustrating. It's I don't know. It's the old adage, like it's the best anti-theft device is a manual transmission. I think that's only becoming more and more true.
More true. More true.
Yeah.
That's yeah. All right, keep going before I lose my voice.
All right, let's see here. Renault is not exactly thrilled these days because Honda's stepping in, shaking up the old Renault-Nissan partnership. And let's just say the French aren't loving it. I did read this, the Nissan-Honda merger, which is bizarre. And I forgot that Renault is part of Nissan.
Yeah.
So Renault is basically stomping around in their beret, shouting, Sacre bleu, who invited Honda to the party? Oh,
I wrote this for you, Jake.
I know you
figured
did.
you'd
Thank you.
yeah.
I love my terrible accents. So here's the deal. Honda's joining the fray as Nissan's shiny new dance partner in this whole Alliance 2030 strategy. So is that what they're calling it? Alliance 2030?
It's
Okay.
there's really no name for it,
Okay.
technically.
So Renault, they're holding on to their 35.7% stake in Nissan, like it's a baguette at a picnic. But it's clear they're not the ones driving the relationship anymore. Nissan is loosening the reins.
Look at you.
Yes, you're welcome. Eyeing the future and cozying up to Honda for what looks like a pretty bold pivot. Kidding aside, it doesn't appear to be a personal grudge between automakers. According to Bloomberg, Honda is concerned that Renault's stake could be purchased by some unknown third party while the merger plans are underway, possibly upending the entire process. Right? So if everything falls into place, a new holding company will be created, not unlike Stellantis, for your erectile dysfunction needs. No, Honda and
So bad.
Nissan would come up with some other name that we don't know about. They'll still exist separately with individual lineups,
Whatever
but platforms.
Pfizer's like branding marketing partner is, they'll just have them come up with a name.
Yes, exactly. Mitsubishi, the other automaker in the decade-old Nissan-Renault-Mitsubishi alliance, again, forgot about them, has expressed interest in joining the conglomerate, but hasn't yet made official decision. To smooth things over, maybe Nissan should send Renault some Japanese milk bread. Apparently it's soft and sweet and impossible to be mad while eating it. But hey, bread aside, the shift isn't just about corporate politics, about adapting to the next era of mobility, Chris. We're mobility providers. We're not car companies.
That's right.
With Honda in the mix, expect to see a lot of innovation and probably a lot more tension before this alliance sorts itself out. So I was
You think-
surprised that Honda was involved in all this. But I suppose it's
Honda's a lot
unfortunately,
bigger than Nissan
well, that's what I mean. Why does Honda need to?
because Japan's economy is really, really bad.
Is it okay?
I'm guessing. My thought is, I don't think Honda really needs Nissan necessarily, but I know Nissan desperately needs Honda.
Yeah, and Mitsubishi.
You got to keep in mind Japan is the way Japan works, and it is from an economic perspective, is a lot different than the way the rest of the world works, which is one of the reasons why they're so behind. They're very old school, very traditional in how they operate.
Mm-hmm.
And excuse me, losing my voice.
Yep, don't
And
die.
my thought is that the Japanese government probably is facilitating this deal behind closed doors.
Oh,
I
yeah,
don't think this is something that
is.
I mean,
of
they cannot
best
have
interest.
Nissan and all this stuff start because their economy is already teetering. Man.
I really do not like how everything is becoming more and more conglomeratized and just like monopolized, and it's unfortunate. All right, since you're losing your voice, I'm going to take this one, Chris.
sounds good. We can let's skip this.
You don't
this
like-
one. Tell me
you don't
about
like
before
this
we
one?
do that. Let's talk
All
about
right.
Nokian.
Ooh, yes, Nokian. Definitely needed right now because, as I said, it's damn cold here. Winter is definitely here. And if you live where we do, you definitely need snow or ice tires to make driving actually safe. Nokian Tires literally invented the winter tire, and this year they're celebrating the 90th anniversary of that invention. Their flagship
Follow my train of
Hakkapeliitta-
thought here.
What?
Follow my
Okay,
train of thought here.
let's go.
You know who makes more tires than Nokian?
Who?
Just name somebody.
Okay, Goodyear.
Okay. Who makes more tires than Goodyear?
Firestone.
Great.
Pirelli?
Who makes more
I don't
tires than
know.
Firestone?
I don't know, Chris. What? Where are you going with this?
Who makes the most tires? You're just thinking a lot. Are you grinding gears or are you drawing a blank?
I'm drawing a blank. I don't know. Is there a giant tire company?
Yeah.
Who?
Lego. Lego makes the most tires of anyone. Lego.
Okay.
They make 500 million tires a year.
Did you just
They
look
make
this
more
up?
tires than anyone else. I remember where I saw it, but it just
Okay.
occurred to me.
That is really funny. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, did you expect me to know that?
No, not at all.
I was thinking actual tires. All right. Regardless.
Well, you're weird, dude. Sometimes you know weird shit, so I thought maybe you would know.
I have heard that before, but my mind was not going there. No, the flagship Hakkapeliitta tire are engineered with cutting-edge technology, honed on the world's toughest test tracks north of the Arctic Circle in the most extreme of conditions. Advanced innovations such as cutting-edge aramid sidewalls made from the same fibers used in bulletproof vests deliver extreme durability and come with a pothole protection warranty. If a road hazard damages your tire beyond repair, Nokian will replace it for free. In addition, Nokian offers a 30-day guarantee. Drive on them for a month, and if you don't like them, you can return them for a full refund. To learn more and find your set of studded or non-studded winter tires at nokiantires.com/winterlegend. That reminded me, did you know there is an official ice road across the St. Croix River, Minnesota and Wisconsin
where's
border?
that?
So it's from Bayport to like North Hudson, and I couldn't find it on any maps anymore, but I know it used to be considered an actual like DOT road that they would plow when the river is frozen enough.
Is it frozen enough?
Yes.
I would like to go drive that.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up for you.
We should
Since
go check
you
that out.
have some Hakkapeliittas with studded tires.
Yeah,
It
we
is
should go check
definitely
that out for
frozen
sure.
enough. And
Well,
I
after
saw
after today
just
it is.
yesterday a bunch of trucks out there. So I
I'm
thought
gonna
you would
be just
enjoy
as
that.
cold as that road here in a minute.
Yes. Okay. Chris, you can file this one under Only in Florida, which I love these stories. Thank God for Florida. Amanda
Thank you, Florida.
Brochu, a single mom from Orange County, came home one day to find her driveway was gone.
The entire thing gone.
The twist? She never asked for it to be replaced. Scammers had posed as Amanda, hiring contractors to rip out her driveway as part of an elaborate overpayment scam. So here's how this whole thing works. The fraudsters pose as the homeowner, Amanda in this case.
First of all,
yes.
before you even explain this,
Yes.
the complication of these scams,
Yes.
just start a driveway business. Just start a driveway business. Be a contractor.
You mean
I
like
see every contractor's driving around in an $80,000 truck and has a brand new house with fake shutters on it in some brand new neighborhood that's got 4,000 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 5 bathrooms.
sure.
Every single one of them. These dudes are raking in the money. There's so many contracting companies up here, I can't even believe it. In fact, go start a contracting company in California. You're going to make all kinds of money.
Yeah.
What are we doing? This scam is way more complicated than just
Actually working?
actually working.
I know. Yeah. The lengths that criminals will go to just to not, I don't understand it. All right. So the fraudsters pose as the homeowner, Amanda in this case, and hire a contractor for a significant job like replacing a driveway. They send the contractor a check to cover the job, but intentionally overpay by a large amount. So you see how this is going.
Mm-hmm.
Then they contact the contractor, apologizing for the quote mistake, and ask for the overpaid amount to be refunded immediately. Which still doesn't make sense to me, because why isn't the check? All right, so yeah, again, why wouldn't the contractor just wait for the original check to clear? The scammers rely on a combination of urgency and trust. They claim the overpayment was a simple error that needs fixing right away, often with a plausible excuse such as accounting or an urgent need for the funds elsewhere. Contractors, eager to maintain good relationship and keep the job moving, refund the money quickly without waiting for the check to officially clear. Okay, so you write a bad check and immediately say, that's so dumb though. Most contractors would just be like, oh yeah, no, we haven't deposited it yet. We'll just tear it up. Why don't you write me a new one when we're done? Or like, we'll bill you when we're done.
Companies are pretty big and they've got so many jobs going and they've got an accounting department, and
This
Ruth,
is
the accounting lady is just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
So,
People get scammed all the time. I think they're all stupid.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm sure I'll get scammed someday. I don't know.
We will. We both will. By the time the contractor realizes the original check was fake and it's bounced, the scammers are long gone, along with the refunded money. The result is the contractor is left unpaid for the job they completed.
How are these guys getting the money back? Where's this refunded money going? Like, how are they? They don't have a bank account. How could you have a bank account?
Are you
as
asking
a scammer?
for a check to be written back?
Send me
in which case,
excuse me, please send me a cashier's check made out to
a different person.
Blank.
Yeah, like it doesn't make any sense. And also, they would mail it to the address of the service that they're providing. So now, like, how does that work?
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense to me.
But the result in this case is that Amanda returns home to find their driveway ripped out without their consent.
Because they started the job.
What contractor is starting that quickly before the check even clears?
What contractor is this? I want their number.
Exactly. Like, this is quick
work.
work.
They started already. Your stairway in your house would be done by now if it was this guy.
Yeah. Quote, "It's a shell game with people's money," a contractor explained. The scam hit Amanda out of nowhere, and she didn't even realize what was happening until her driveway was already gone. But here's a silver lining. When Amanda's story went viral, a veteran-owned company stepped up and replaced her driveway free of charge. Amanda took 10 grand raised through a GoFundMe campaign and donated it all to the Russell Home, a local charity for children's disabilities. And yeah, it's just, it's ridiculous that this actually works.
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, maybe Amanda was actually the scammer in all this. Maybe she did need a new driveway, right?
Yeah.
Like, she got a new driveway.
Elaborate. Keep reading, please.
Yeah.
Keep reading, please.
Meanwhile, if I tried to run a driveway scam, they'd take one look at me and say, "Kid, shouldn't you be selling lemonade instead?" What? I don't get it. You wrote that for me? Oh.
Because you're so short, Jake.
Okay.
Kid, shouldn't you be selling? You didn't read the whole thing. You blew it.
I'm not going to read all that because I didn't write it.
You blew it, Jake.
Honestly, Chris, I'm just impressed the scammers had the audacity to pull this off. Meanwhile, if I tried to run a driveway scam, they'd probably just take one look at me and say, "Kid, shouldn't you be selling lemonade instead?"
There you go. You're so short.
Oh, you got me, Chris. That was really, really funny. So dumb. It's worse than your pee in a cup thing. You know what's not dumb is Petrolbox. Petrolbox is a monthly service made specifically for the automotive enthusiasts. Each month, they care for select items, including tools, detailing supplies, apparel, garage gear, stickers, publications, and all the greatest and latest to be sent right to your doorstep. I emphasize stickers because do you know what has happened at my house? Rhett is turning 3 tomorrow. And Petrolbox always comes with stickers, and I save and usually throw them in my toolbox. Like, I don't put them anywhere. Well, he found them all. So I have like a stack of car stickers, and he took them, and now there is a wall in the house dedicated to these car stickers that he just started putting there. Which
I have that too. My kids take them as well. They're all over their bedposts, all over their dresser.
At first, I was like, "Dude, you can't just put stickers here." But then I was like, "This is really cute."
Yes, he can.
So that's going to be a permanent fixture in the house. Is the Petrolbox sticker?
What about the pins? What do you do with the pins? There's always pins
are
in there
also in the drawer of the toolbox. I haven't done anything with those yet. He has a backpack. I could put them all over his backpack.
Yes, my kids put them on the backpack.
He would like that for sure. Yeah, there's 2 different levels of subscription to choose from. The Petrolbox Basic costs less than $20 a month, while the Petrolbox Premium gets you even more gear for $39.95 a month. Check them out at mypetrolbox.com and be sure to use code Overcrest at checkout to get $6 off your first month.
All right, we have some Drivers Club questions. Let me just pop into the Drivers Club, see if there's any new ones.
I like it.
Here,
let's do it.
Okay. All right, Pablo the Porsche asks.
Yes.
New EVs. This is, guys, it's Drivers Club only. If you want to be on the podcast, you want to talk to us, you know, it's $5 a month.
Tell Chris how dumb he is.
No, don't do that.
Yeah.
Well,
I will read it.
He does that because it never happens. You get $5 a month. You can get access to a special spot on the Discord and feel really, really nice about yourself for helping out
exclusive content, Chris.
There is. That's right.
Exclusive content. My big selling point. Come on.
Yes. Yep. We run episodes long sometimes. You get episodes early.
That's right.
You pony up enough, you get a T-shirt, get some art, get a print, which I don't sell prints. I just don't do it. So if you want one, it's the only way to get one. Pablo Porsche asks, link in the show notes if you want it.
Or overcrestproductions.com/whatever URL Chris will make up this week.
/driver of clubs. New EVs are expensive. Even when the subsidies with the subsidies, they still cost more than an equivalent gasoline-powered car. Correct.
Right.
But EVs are now entering the used market at a substantial discount. For example, 3-year-old Taycans can be had for 35% of their original MSRP.
Wow.
We've never seen a haircut on depreciation so fast as these EVs.
Yeah.
Never. Whether it's the ID4 or ID3 or whatever it is, or the Taycan or the Mercedes stuff. I mean, they just got absolutely rocked.
Part of the problem too is people are looking at these, consumers are viewing these as an appliance, as an electronic appliance, more than just a vehicle. I think so, because
that's not
as
why
we
they're
talk
going down in
about
value. They're going down in value because they're all first to market. That's why they're all going down in value so hard. These are all first to market, first efforts.
Right. It's the first iPhone. It's the first gen iPhone.
Yeah. I mean,
why would you buy that when there's going to be a new one next year? That was my point.
Yes. But once the technology stabilizes out a little bit, the depreciation won't be as bad. A lot of these lots of luxury goods have poor depreciation, especially when it comes to cars.
Right.
This just happens to be quite a big haircut. His question, though, how cheap does an electric car need to be before it piques your interest?
Mm-hmm.
So I started to look a little bit. The only thing that's kind of like I would consider that's based on price range.
Yeah.
There's two things. There's an e-Golf, which is like 15 to 20 grand, 15 to 13 grand, somewhere in there. But they're boring. They're not fun. They're not exciting, but they're a Golf, so that's kind of cool. And then there's the Model 3 Performance, which is 25 grand. Those are 0 to 60 in like 4 seconds.
Right.
They're close, but they're so ugly. I can't Tesla.
Yep.
I can't. They're just ugly. I can't get past the looks.
The mouthless fish thing.
They're too ugly. So for me, nothing. However, if I saw a Model 3 Performance for 8 to 12 grand, I would buy it just to try it out. I would buy it just to try it out and see what it was like to own something like that and rip around in it and do some burnouts and see the spaceship stuff on the thing and make my passenger fart and all that stuff. For 8 to 12 grand, I would maybe think about it at that price. We're a long way from that happening. I think that's a few years away.
Yeah,
What about you? You're like you have more money than me. What?
So Nikki,
it's, true. It's fine.
Yeah,
no shade. Just you have more money than me. So
Nikki
where does this need to be for you?
That she really wants a Taycan Cross Turismo as like her next big vehicle purchase. So
how much are they?
I don't know where they're at right now. They're too much right now, I'm assuming. But I could see in a couple years. It has to be thank God, the wagon version. I've sold her on the wagon situation because like Panamera, I would do a Panamera Cross Turismo too. I think those look really cool. But yeah, she is all about the Taycan Cross Turismo. We drove one.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
What does this say? 60, 70 grand. This looks like you get one.
Okay. It would have to come down
when
a
I
bit
was
more.
looking back here. Here's one for 66.
Okay.
66 grand. They're a little bit cheaper. I mean,
it would have to come down, more than that, obviously, which they will. But I could see that happening.
What'd you pay for your Cayenne? The twin turbo Cayenne?
53, something like that.
I mean,
I would pay that for one of those.
That still is another 15-20% of depreciation.
Yeah.
That's gonna
give it
like,
2 years.
Jake, these things only have like 25,000 miles on them.
That is crazy.
They're so low miles. Here's one with 20,000 miles for 65.
Yeah, because the battery
so low mileage.
I can't put miles on it.
What's the range is not that spectacular.
I don't know. I also really have to question, and I know people have done tests and stuff, but like it was so cold out yesterday that like we went out and preheated the car and let it idle for a while so that it could actually get up to temperature. How much does that kill your battery if you're just spending so much of it heating the vehicle?
Well, it's plugged in at home, so I think it uses your home electricity to up.
But what if you're like out at the restaurant and you're coming back to it? I suppose it's still
warm. You lose 25 to 30% just based on the cold.
Yeah.
I think it's a real problem.
I know. Now. That's what I mean.
Problem.
It's not practical here.
No, neither is self-driving with all of the snow and shit on the road.
Yep, exactly.
My Volvo is what, like self-driving 2 or whatever, capable of 2, where it'll do it, but you still have to mind the road. It kind of like when there's snow on the road, it just turns off. It's like I can't see, so it
Yeah.
just turns off, and that's why your hand has to be on the wheel. It happens all the time. You'll have the cruise control on, it's the pilot assist, you're cruising along great, and your hand's on the wheel. And I just play with it. I go to this mode, that mode.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to kind of like figure out if I like it or not. And sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. If I'm in traffic, I'll turn it on because then it'll just modulate and whatever.
Right.
It's
That is nice.
But when you're anything's on the road, or if you're driving and there's like a turn lane that goes off to the left, it'll kind of like go.
Oh,
You
should we
can
go that
feel
way?
Like,
I know.
the Golf is really bad. Like the Golf will just go.
Yeah.
It does. It's
The Macan has the same thing where the lane sensing, and so it's like you'll feel the feedback a little bit fighting you, and you're like, what the?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah. I think the
bizarre.
Volvo's what year's your Macan?
That's a 2015. That was really early for that
Okay,
stuff.
yeah, the Volvo is actually quite good. I used it a lot on the way out to Maryland, and like driving down the freeway, it'll manage, go around,
That is
go
nice.
around curves. It's actually quite good and nice for longer drives. But anytime any weird shit happens on the road or there's snow or anything like that, it just turns off. It doesn't even try. It knows it can't do it.
Which
It goes,
is good,
"Nope."
I guess. Better than the alternative.
But my point is, how does that work in an environment like ours where it's like that all the time?
Yeah, no, it doesn't.
It just doesn't work. All right,
Doesn't make sense.
I have a device that I think is going to save your life, Jake.
Oh, really?
I'm not kidding. This is legendary.
This is serious.
Mr. Producer, play spoon clip.
You've seen
boy.
a mirror that scans your body, a massage chair that moves your body. This is a spoon that changes the taste of things that go into your body. So
What?
we all are trying to eat less salt. It's very important for our heart health long term, but we love salty food, right? This is the electric salt spoon, and how it works is it creates a very mild electric current that goes through from the back here to the front, through your mouth here, and it'll actually make your food taste saltier. There are 4 different levels that you can choose from depending on your saltiness.
Look at
needs.
Jake's
But the point of
face.
this is that you are able to change the way that you're eating, make some small changes day by day without having to make the same compromises that you would for how you like the way things taste.
Okay.
Whoa. I did not expect something called the electric salt spoon to really impress me, but it has. This is quintessential weird CES, and I'm here for it.
Okay. How much does it cost? How, does
I
it
don't know.
actually work well? And what about? There's so many things besides soup that I want to be salty. Like, what about French fries?
It's
Do I just-
$125.
That's not bad.
Here's how this thing works.
Do
So
I just
looked
have
into it a
to?
little bit.
Do I just have to eat everything with the spoon now? Like,
Yes,
do I
you would
have to
have
be
to
the
eat-
weird
you'd have
guy that brings my own spoon to the restaurant, mind you?
Yes, you would.
And I'm
You'd have
like,
to bring the spoon with you.
Oh, here's my French fries. I'm gonna cut up and eat with my spoon.
Yeah. Yes,
Okay.
you would.
Okay,
Yes, you would have to do
that's
that.
not worth it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you're the guy that puts salt on everything.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll
Before
just
you
die.
even taste it, you're like dumping salt on stuff.
Yeah, because I know
You don't
I
even
like it.
taste it first.
You're right. That is bad. There was someone
It's
who'd
bad.
like. There was a quote. I don't know if it was a general or someone who like had an interview, and the dude salted his stuff before even tasting it, and he's like, "You're out. You're gone because you didn't have the foresight to, or like you shouldn't assume the situation without first." It was some like it's an anecdote that's well known. Not really because
Yeah.
no one knows it.
You blew this little tangent you had there.
Yep,
You blew
it's
it big
gone.
time.
Yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
You blew it big
Yep,
time.
exactly.
And speaking of gone, this episode is gone. Next week is
Wait,
fun. We've
I
got.
wanted to learn how this thing works.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Is
So
it
it has
like a
the
9-volt
electrical current or
battery
whatever?
where you just like
You
put
have
it
to
to your
like
tongue?
Yeah. You have to hold. You have to eat very slowly too, or it doesn't
Oh.
work. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
I
hey,
know.
this is proof of concept, right? What like maybe it'll get smaller and you'll be able
At that
to.
point, they should just like have I don't know, like a tongue implant where it just like makes things
here's a
taste
thought for you,
better.
Jake.
What's that?
I think that you could desensitize yourself to this.
I know.
Like if you just stopped eating salt for a few weeks,
Yeah.
your body would acclimate and you wouldn't need the taste as much. But as you get older, you're really going to have to modulate your salt intake because your salt intake is very high. As my friend, I
You
want you to
don't
stop
know
doing
that.
And
You don't know.
okay, am I wrong?
No.
Yeah, exactly. You put salt on your oatmeal cream pies too?
I don't. I was gonna bring those up, but no, I don't.
This dude,
I bet it'd be
this dude,
delicious, actually.
how many
Ooh.
boxes of cream pies do you have right now? Oatmeal
There's
cream
like
pies.
3 in the cupboard, I think.
Are you replenishing them or have you taken
Yeah,
our
oh yeah,
advice
no,
and
they
stopped
every
eating that?
well, Nikki does the shopping. They just keep showing up. It's great.
Dude, you got to get control of your life. You can't be eating that shit. You can't be eating it.
I gave up drinking this month. Dry January.
This month,
Yeah.
Jake, I tried again to start drinking like a scotch or something. So I was
I'm trying to lay back on drinking. You're like, I tried drinking. I still can't
I tried
get
it. I tried it. I was at my uncle's and I had he's like, oh, I want you to try this, try that, try this.
Yeah.
All the things I tried between Irish whiskey, Scotch, whatever. My favorite was this red label Bushmills bourbon.
Yeah.
Or like it was like maybe an
It's
Irish
not
bourbon or something like that.
No, that's not a bourbon. A bourbon is American. There's no such thing as an
Hold on.
Irish bourbon.
Red. Oh no. Bush. I have the worst keyboard ever. I dropped it and all the keys flew off, so it's not good.
Bushmills
See if
that's an Irish whiskey, I believe. I don't know.
It's like no, it's none of these because it was like $150. Maybe I'm wrong. Well, anyway, what I found out I liked most was bourbon.
Yeah.
I liked bourbon
Same.
better than Scotch,
100%, always.
which was, I guess, somewhat surprising.
Scotch
Sure.
is too smoky.
It doesn't have to be, but I just didn't. And I thought, I'm like, okay, cool. I like this. You know, this. I'm going to try and get a taste for this. I'm going to put some hair on my chest and be a man.
Yeah.
I can't do it. It all tastes like garbage. It's all shit. I just can't do it,
And
man.
he will stay a boy.
And I will stay a boy. All right, next week we've got Dave Torme is coming on the podcast.
What is he going to talk to us about?
We're going to talk about car sales. We're going to talk about photography. We're going to talk about the rally. We're going to talk about his history with photography and content creation and being one of the best photographers that I know. He's truly talented and truly a wonderful guy.
Has
And
your
he's
wife
done a
heard
lot
you
of
say
different
that?
Hey, more people can be more than.
You
More
said
than
the
one
best
person can be talented.
photographer I know.
I said one of.
Oh, okay. I heard the best.
Oh, he's not. Well, he's very
Just
good.
trying to catch you in a lie. That's
You're
fine.
just trying to get me all tied up in knots.
Yep,
I don't
100%.
Like it. All right, guys. We will see you next week.
Take care.